All right, welcome to the Tailgate Connect podcast. I'm your host, Luke Lord with Tailgating Challenge. I love all things tailgating, and I'm excited to talk some tailgating with you this evening. Our amazing guest tonight is Ben Chase. Ben is a tailgating legend for a tailgating journey that he took not too long ago. You're going to want to stick around to hear about all the fun he had tailgating across the country.
Gather round tailgaters, hear the call, it's game day, y'all. Let's have a ball across the states from college to NFL. Tailgate Connect's got a story to tell.
All right, welcome back to the Tailgate Connect podcast, where we talk about all things tailgating. Today, we have our special guest is Ben Chase. Ben, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm here in my office and had to hop on via my phone, but I'm riding and rolling right now. Appreciate the gang at Tailgate Connect for putting me on.
For sure, for sure. And for those that don't know, I came to know Ben a couple of years back when Ben, you went on a journey that I'm still envious of just basically like doing as many tailgates in one college football season as possible. Did I say that correctly, or fill us in on a few of those details?
Yeah, so in 2022, which is crazy to say, it's been almost 3 years now. I left a job and kind of just decided to just go for it. I went to the most college football games at the time in one season, 77 games, all on the road. I drove in a van, a Dodge Grand Caravan named Betty White that I still have today. She did blow her transmission on that road trip, and she should be paid off here in the next 30 days. But yeah, 77 games in 135 days, all on the road. I went to D2, HBCU, conference championship games. It was an incredible time, and every time I talk about it, I just get chills thinking about getting back on the road and chomping at the bit to just experience one of the greatest traditions in our American culture.
No doubt. I mean, 77 is freaking impressive. So I feel like people that are listening right now, myself included, would be like, why? Like, where did it come from? Like, you know what? I'm going to just load up in the van, quit my job, and do 77 tailgates. Where did that passion come from?
Yeah, so when I was in college, I didn't go to college until I was 21. I went to Valencia Community College in Orlando, then went to Florida, and now I work for the Gators, ironically. And I would always kind of be the road trip guy. We would do, LSU overnight, and then when I went to law school, I would drive. I went to law school in DC. I would drive overnight on a Friday to a Saturday game. I moved to Orlando, and I would drive from Orlando to College Station or LSU or Orlando to Auburn for like the Iron Bowl. So it just kind of became like part of my story. And there was always this time where people would randomly send me the like ultimate college football Reddit road trip map. Like every year I was on this, and in 2021 I actually sat down and kind of typed up like a draft, like if I was to do it, like how many games could I get to? And I took a job. It didn't happen. And then 2022, it just the stars aligned. I sat down in a coffee shop in San Diego and I put together a list of 62 games, and I ended up going to 77. I actually could have gone to 78, but I canceled the game to get to down to Tampa because I actually ended up taking 70 kids to a game with me, thanks to the USF AD at the time. But
Nice.
yeah, it's the why. I mean, it's I really think that at the bare bones of humanity, as an individual, we are explorers at heart. Right? There's not a lot of things you can explore more in America than college towns and different parts of the country. I mean, I went to all 48 continental U.S. states. I didn't go to a game in all the states, but you know, I had about 6 days between the Mountain West Championship and the Army Navy game. 6 states left, and I had to go across the country anyway. So I knocked out those last few states as a part of it too. So I went to all 48 states, including and then plus DC. But I think it was just that adrenaline rush of of doing something that maybe not a lot of people have done and they've always dreamed about, like you said. And one of the things I really, looking back, I think is going to age well is I never asked anyone for money. And it was like, there's a lot of people out there that like start Patreons, and there's nothing against them, but a lot of people would comment like, "I can't believe you're living out my dream." And the last thing I wanted was for people to, pay me to live out their dream. People did Venmo me at some, about 5 games that people were like, just what's your Venmo? I'll just send you, like, I want to buy you a drink. And that was cool. It's definitely helpful. And I paid the bare minimums. I racked up crazy credit card debt. But it's all paid off now, and the memories will last a lifetime, and the connections I've made. But yeah, the why is I just love exploring. I love the Great American Road Trip is dying every day. And whether it's gas prices, electric vehicles, or the advancement of other technology and other travel opportunities, I do think there's nothing um, more fun than just getting in the car or the truck with a group of guys or girls, or a collaboration of people, and just goofing around and driving across the up and down the I-95 or the 10 across the country, and just seeing what this country has to offer.
So I heard a group of guys or girls. Did you have a co-pilot, or was this a solo mission?
Well, that's the thing. I drove this one all solo. In fact, the only time I believe I drove anyone more than maybe 2 or 3 miles was on my first leg of the trip when I drove from Tucson to Pittsburgh. Actually, I was at a gas station, and this guy asked me if I could give him a ride to work. I was like, sure, how far is he? He's like, I don't know, it's like 8, 10 miles. It was 8, 10 miles the exact opposite way I was going. So I was going east, and he had it was in oh, it must have been Indianapolis. I think I took him 15 miles west, you know that. And I probably, if I told people that, I didn't think I'd tell a lot of people that, but like they were like, Ben, you're crazy, you just put a random person in your car. I don't know, I had a good feeling about this one. But yeah, besides that, I mean, I had friends that would FaceTime me or call me at 2 or 3 in the morning, because after a game, a game on Thursday night, I don't really stay the night unless there's 2 or 3 hours for me to sleep, because I was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Um, and it was nonstop. And I have an Aura ring now that gives you your sleep score. I couldn't imagine what my sleep score was during that adventure.
So let me. I know when I go to tailgates, like it's usually like, okay, I'm going to one, maybe two in a weekend, right? And it's like I'm getting there early. I'm probably partaking in a lot of the food and the drinks. It's not like it needs some recovery time. So like, were you going all in on these, or was this kind? I'm getting there, I'm shaking hands, I'm kissing babies, I'm having one beer, and I'm back on the road.
Well, I mean, one of my rules was if you offered me a drink, I had to say yes. That doesn't mean I finish every drink, but
Okay.
yeah, so I would go, and I mean, I would say probably one of the most fun times I had, or a little over the edge, was my first game, which thank goodness was a Thursday before the week, Thursday week 0, and that was at New Mexico State. They had that authentic Mexican tequila and all these things, and I think it was kind of just I got it out of my system early because I didn't have another game until that next, I think it was Sunday, because it was Labor Day. And but no, yeah, I mean, I would go, and ideally, I would have a good pregame and then maybe a drink inside, and then by the time third, fourth quarter rolls around, I'm a little sobered up to make the move to the next. And I did like 7 or 8 double Saturdays where I'd go to a early game, 11 o'clock noon, and then I'd make the second game. I never missed a kickoff at the second games. And I'd stay to end every game. So like a lot of people ask like, oh, how did you, count 77 games? Like, no, I have a personal rule. If the athletes are on the field, I'm in the stands, and that was still part of this trip as well. And I got really lucky. I think I would, it's 77 games. I think I only paid for 13 or 15 tickets. People would just the momentum. I didn't pay for a game until game maybe 8 or 9 of the trip, and that was Texas, Bama at Texas. When the first round one in Austin. But the momentum, and I never reached out to schools. Schools would reach out to me at some point, and then fans would just DM me, or I would the first tailgate I went to at New Mexico State, I just walked up to a random tailgate and said, "Hey, do you guys have an extra ticket?" And they're like, "We have 30 extra tickets," because we were all like parents and boosters and stuff. And I was like, "Oh, okay, like here you can have as many as you want." And that was really one of the things one of my theses of the trip was you know uh when you show up to one of these schools, as long as you're wearing their colors, they're going to accept you. So I had a rule, like I'd buy a shirt and have the home team unless it was one of 6 teams, and that's like Florida State, Miami, LSU, Tennessee. Kentucky or Georgia. Like those are the schools I won't wear their colors. But anywhere else, I kind of was a team player. And what's funny is one of the games LSU and Florida State played each other, so I wore like neutral colors of that game. But yeah, it's just so fun to think about, and I get like excited inside talking about the trip, and you don't have to do it that big a scale. Like when you could do a weekend, and I went to a wedding in Chicago or outside of Chicago once, and the wedding was at 4, and Wisconsin played at like 10 or 11. So I went and watched all the way up to 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, and then was able to leave. I know I had to leave early to make the wedding. Like just, I mean, if you have the opportunity to experience a new stadium, new culture, a new fan base, like it's so worth it. I mean, there so many there those Saturdays, those are cathedrals, and the religion of that team and that fan base is special, especially when you're adopted into it and can experience for 8, 10 hours.
Sure. And this will be the shameless plug. So people can experience tailgates with Tailgate Connect on our website. So they can get them easy button tailgating so they can experience all of that stuff. Maybe not 77 in one year, but we do have over 60 hosts and growing across the United
Yeah.
States right now
And
for
I
that
got to
experience.
experience one of the Tailgate Connect ones in Austin, actually, at the Hornsball. Incredible. I mean, turnkey, all you can eat, all you can drink. They have such a great atmosphere, live DJs, and they have like private areas. There was a bachelor party that rented out an area, and they had a private bathroom and bottle service, and then there was another area. So, I mean, they do such a great job. Tailgate Connect does a great job, and I think it's one of those industries that people don't think about. I mean, you could go tailgate or you can go to a bar in a city you don't know, and you'll rack up a few $100 tab and not even have like a good time and not really feel anything. You go to a tailgate, you're gonna you may get like a custom tailgate koozie, or you may make a friend that uh you have for the rest of your life, or you're going on the road. Florida goes to play at Missouri or Kentucky, and then you do the home and home. Say, hey man, like I would love to have you come back to my tailgate too. And those moments and those relationships, I still talk to people from my road trip from Washington State, from App State, and the people that really pour into you and give you a little bit of what they grew up with. And I think that that's part of what we're missing. And it doesn't matter what your skin color is, your religious background. Like when you put on the colors of a team and you just go and hang out and like take it in, they're gonna adopt you and love you. It's just something that's special. Tailgating is again, it's like the communion of college sports, and there's no better way to break bread than to go out and have a beverage and grill a sausage or a gator if you want a bacon wrap gator, and just share that with people.
Now I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because again, the season's coming up soon and just getting really excited. And I know you're a big Gators guy, and for you to say you could grill a bacon wrap gator, so it's like you're still open to that. Have you ever eaten a bacon wrap gator? Is a question though.
I've had a bite or two. I mean, on the road, like that's like a very traditional thing that anyone that like when we went out to Utah and they had bacon right, they had full gators in Utah at Salt Lake City. I was pretty impressed. But I mean, anytime you go to LSU when we play them, they'll have it. Like some of the other schools. I mean, Florida, Georgia. If you walk around Florida, Georgia, and Jacksonville, and it's Florida, Georgia, not Georgia, Florida. I will say that. You'll see a few gators. I don't blame 'em. I mean, one of the bars here is called the Swamp, and they have gator bites, and it's basically just super chewy chicken. And yeah, I think it's one of the coolest traditions. I mean, to be able to eat a rare animal, and that happens to be the team you're playing. That's kind of cool.
I mean, definitely fun, definitely fun. So, 77 games. That was does the record still stand? Is that still a standing record that
Yeah,
people, if somebody got 78, does that count? And is it officially recorded anywhere or is this kind
yeah.
of out there?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's tough because I applied to Guinness and they don't recognize college games. They don't they also don't recognize those kind of road trips because they don't want to encourage people to speed and do anything dangerous. And they'll recognize like Canadian football. So a guy went to like 11 Canadian football game teams stadiums in like 15 days or something, or 3 weeks, and I was like, all right, well, come on, let's be real for a second. But I think the real ones know that 77 games in one season, and I drove to all of them. That's if someone does that, like in one shot and drives to all of them, I'll be at the national championship game and buy him a beer or 3 beers.
Oh, 100%. You tip your cap, right? Like I got my
Yeah,
Guinness World Record back here, and it's like I get like there's a lot of people don't understand the red tape that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just like doing it sometimes, I don't want to say it's the easy part because I know what you did was not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but getting approval, going through the red tape and all that, or shelling out, 10, 15, $20,000 for an adjudicator to come and ride. For that, it
Yeah.
probably been $100,000 for somebody to come to do that. But
Yeah, exactly. And you're a world record holder, so you know better than me. And I would say like, there college football campus tour, he's been doing this now 7, maybe 8 years. And like the year after me, he broke 77, but he flies and drives and he's great. He has incredible experience and he knows a lot more than he knows more than I've forgot, or I don't know what's the saying. He's forgot more than I know or I'll ever learn when it comes to this stuff. I mean, he's got turnkey car rental and flights he had 100 games last season. I do think that if I did it over again, it'd be too easy. And I if you go back and watch some of my threads on Twitter and the videos I posted, I made it harder for myself. Like a hurricane came through Florida and delayed a game, but moved a game to a Tuesday. It's in South Carolina, so I drove to that one, then went to a game on Wednesday in Orlando, then drove all the way to San Jose overnight. Wednesday UCF, and then Friday San Jose State. Or I'd have food challenges but now because I know the game, I know the system. I never reached out to a university once on that trip, and I think now I could reach out and get a credential or get ahead of it. And actually most of the games I paid for were smaller schools like Shorter University or there was a D2 like championship game where there was probably 300 people in the stands and 290 of them were parents. And so, I it's not as it wouldn't be fun or challenging. I just think it would be a lot easier and it wouldn't be as genuine because it's not like one shot. If someone came out and said, "Ben, I'm coming for you. I'm coming to," and now the other part is last thing, and you can ask whatever question you want, is when I did it, the only Tuesday and Wednesday games were the MAC, and now you have the Sun Belt, the Fun Belt also does Tuesday, Wednesday games.
sure.
So and they start a month earlier, and now the playoff is expanded, so there's more games and more opportunities, which is awesome. Because like if I was to go do it, like I know I could get it done, driving now, I think you could realistically do in the 90s. I don't know if you can hit 100, but I think if someone did it now, they could probably hit 90, which is kind of cool to say. I mean, if you could hit 100 driving, I would buy your ticket to the national championship game.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, the reality is most people don't do 100 tailgates in their lifetime, right? And
Yeah.
talking about doing like that many or close to that many in one given season, like I think a lot of people too were like, oh, that sounds amazing, living out my dream. But like, if we're being honest, were there some challenges? I know you mentioned sleep, but what were some of the biggest challenges
Uh,
doing it?
I mean, when I drove from Tucson to Pittsburgh, I already had engine issues after game one. So I spent, $1,100 in Pittsburgh on my transmission, and then my transmission blew around like game 36, 37. So I had to rent a car for 8 days. I think in 8 days I put 7,000 miles on a rent a car. I'm sure that they sold that car after I ran it back. That when they say unlimited miles, I did all the miles.
All the miles.
I was really, really proud of myself because I think for 50 games I didn't get a ticket. And then I just was tired and I was going 11 over when I thought I was going 7 over. I got 2 or 3 tickets. My first ticket was a $5 parking ticket in not Blacksburg. And yeah, is that where West Virginia is?
Yep. No,
Blacksburg, no,
Blacksburg is I think Virginia Tech. So
Virginia Tech.
Morgantown.
Morgantown. Yeah, so Morgantown downtown. Um, it's parking 24 hours a day. So my ticket was basically the cost of what parking was. It was $5. So I appreciated that. That wasn't like super, punitive. But yeah, I would say that, I mean, the hardest parts were, the lack of sleep and, you know, not really knowing. Here's another thing. Not really knowing the game times until, Monday, like 11 days in advance. Now, I mean, the SEC puts out basically the bunch of the game times and then these windows. Like Florida doesn't have one noon game this year. So like
Well,
that is good
good
to
for
know.
them. I hate
Yeah.
noon games.
Yeah, and that's good to know when you're planning this out, your driving windows, right? So like basically what I would do, get to Sunday or Monday if there's a Sunday game, and I would sit in a coffee shop and I would wait for the times of the games to drop for 11 days out. So I was always planning like about 2 weeks in advance. But that was the thing. You're planning on a whim. They're flexing these games, so that was challenging. Um, and then, just finding places to sleep that you felt comfortable with. Sometimes, like sometimes you were in neighborhoods. Most of the times I was doing Walmart parking lots or pilots, flying J's. And, no, I never got a knock, which is, I think I did that right. The first 2 or 3 weeks was super hot in the van, so I had a fan that kept me, cool. And then there was a few nights where it was like negative, it was like 6 degrees, and I
Oh
bought like
boy.
an extra blanket. So I think the weather changes. There was some. I went to the coldest bowl game of all time. It was like 12 degrees at the Armed Forces Bowl. So cold
Dang.
that I picked up. There's someone left their drink. It was a full like Mountain Dew, and I was able to turn it over and do like the Blizzard challenge, and nothing came out. That's how cold it was. Someone bought a water bottle, and they took it out of the fridge, and they did this to it, and it froze. Like it literally started freezing in their hand, and I was like, so the temperatures. I got really lucky last one, and then you can ask another question is when I got the rental car, I was in Waco, Texas, Baylor, and there was this Waco's stadium is in the boondocks. It's in the boonies, and
I've been sick and bears. I go every year. I go every year to go to some
it's a
Tailgate Connect hosts down there that are awesome people. So I always make one trip down to Waco.
I love the some of the traditions that they have are some of the best and underreported I'd say in the country. But I was at this there's a gas station really close to their stadium, and it has just two pumps. It's really like, why it's not a brand name. And I pull in to the gas station, and there's a pump here, and I pull in this way, and being like the polite person, I drive to the second pump, right? So in case someone comes up here. So I go in, I get a snack, I'm reeling, and I go back out to my car and I'm fueling up, and there's a car parked because the the convenience store's over here. It's parked, and I hear it rev its engine. Next thing you know, it revs, slams into the other pump and destroys it, destroys the back of their car and everything. And I legit, and then I go inside. There's a van blocking the view of that, so I go inside. The cashier didn't even know what was going on. And I was like, hey man, you may want to go check outside. Your pump just got destroyed. And when we go outside, that car is gone. It drove off, and like half of its bumper was like on the ground. And I just got really lucky because one, I was in a rental car, and two, I mean, it literally would have destroyed this rental car. I think I don't even remember it was like a Nissan Kicks or something. I don't know what they're
Sure.
called. And yeah, so that was I caught a break there too.
Yeah, and glad you or nobody else was in front of that car whenever they were doing whatever they were doing as well. That's the main thing.
Oh my gosh, just dumb, just stupid game. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But it stinks for that gas station that they like. I mean, I don't know if the other side of the pump was usable, but it was. They had like that guardrail, and it's crushed that and hit the pump too. It was bad. And I was like, how do you go that fast in a gas station parking lot? Yeah, It may have been 15 yards.
Wow. No, I'm glad everybody was okay because I had the vision too of like gas spewing and then stuff's blowing up like in movies, right? It sounds like.
Seriously, I jumped. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was crazy because it kind of felt like I was watching it slow motion. But it was fast. It happened quick.
Well, tell me this because you've been around 77 schools like in just one season. Tell me the top three. Top three schools. If somebody was like, you got to get to these. These are bucket list areas for the tailgating culture. Drop your top three.
Yeah. Well, I'll take Florida out of it. Actually, I do think that Florida we have opportunities to get better. I do think we have some great tailgates, individual tailgates, but I think it could be a lot better here. It's hard not to say. I mean, I went to the Penn State Whiteout, and that's the only Penn State game I've been to, and that's as advertised. I mean, when you're driving over these hills into Happy Valley, and it's sea of white. There's people throwing white shirts to you as you well, literally. I think I was throwing like two or three white shirts just in case by different people throwing their law firm sponsor on it or local business. Super smart by them. So I'd say that. I mean, full the spread. There was a guy cooking, and everything. They had a professional chef at the one I went to, but it was out of a bus. So that one's up there. The Grove at night. I went to.
Oh yeah.
I've been to the Grove twice now, but on the road trip I was there for Thanksgiving, the Egg Bowl, Mike Leach's last game, his last win. That was really special because I mean that is an experience in itself. And then let's see something that maybe like was surprised. Honestly, Texas State and Marcos. And the reason why I'll tell you why. San Marcos, their tailgates in a parking lot. and which is like a professional NFL team or whatever. But what they do, and I don't know if I'm allowed to, I'm old enough and you're old enough to go in, or we're too old, but for all of the fraternities and sororities, they put these cages, they fence off these whole areas. So there's like 15 private club tailgates, and they have tents over them and DJs, and it was like legitimately popping. But since we probably can't go there, I'll put that one as like a special category.
I know I'm too old, nor do I need
Yeah,
to
I'm
go
not
to
gonna
that
walk
one.
in there, but I was super impressed. So I would say Penn State, Ole Miss. Let's do one more. I mean, the Hornsball is definitely
For
that's
sure.
unforgettable. So Austin, I was there for Alabama, Texas. Game day was there. I think Fox College, yeah, both, mid or whatever it's called, noon kickoff was
Yeah,
there.
the
So that's when
noon.
that was a crazy atmosphere, and the game lived up to it. It was super hot that game. Someone actually stole a giant bag of ice from one of those freezers and was in the stands with it over his head.
Nice.
But that tailgate experience was super cool. So I'd say those are probably some of the top three. I mean, I would say there's games that I would say that in atmospheres I would say that are up there too. But those three tailgates are pretty elite.
I don't think you get a lot of argument from me on those either. Penn State is always one of the ones that comes to mind because that is just an impressive scene and just like, yeah, the sea of
Yeah,
life and just I mean, people out there 12 hours in advance. Like, they got more people 12 hours in advance to kick off than some teams have like 1 hour before kickoff. It's just
it is
impressive.
unbelievable. And I'll give a caveat too. Like I've been to LSU, but it wasn't on that road trip, so I don't count that as far as this goes. But I do say LSU's up there. I've been to Madison. Madison's great. That wasn't part of my road trip. And yeah, I mean, and there's some small. App State had a incredible little experience there because it was like peak leaf season, which is
Boy,
was really impressive.
I still need to
But
get
yeah,
there.
so
That's one on my list. You get to App State in the
yeah,
fall. It just sounds like an epic, epic time.
and then in Washington State, they have their RV setup. I mean, everyone knows everyone. They actually have this older couple that go and sneak into people's RVs, and like the husband like takes pictures like in the beds of like people sleeping. Like it's like a thing. The rule is if your
That
door
sounds
is
like
unlocked,
court TV about to happen right there.
it's definitely questionable, but it's part of like their culture there. Also, the Cougar Gold cheese, the cheese in the can is great. But no, like, I mean, these donors and boosters have been there forever, and they know like if your door is unlocked, you are opening yourself up for the team effort that is this husband and wife going in and sneaking into your RV and taking photos with you while you're passed out.
Man, I feel like that's another whole episode. I need to go there and experience that, or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I don't know. That sounds interesting. But let me
It's
ask you
wild.
this part now. If we switch gears, and I say, Ben, like, I know you're a nice guy and everything, but is there one tailgate where you're like, nah, I wouldn't recommend going there. Just not a good experience.
All right, give me a second to kind of scan. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I'm honestly any school that has their games in an NFL stadium, it's just not the same. I'm not taking a shot at any rival here, but I think that that's just a tough atmosphere for the college level. But if I'm going to just be at a, I mean, everyone jokes about BYU because they don't drink, but once you get in the stadium, the Cougar Tail and chocolate milk's pretty fun. So man, what? I don't know. I mean, even like UCLA at the Rose Bowl, like they're partying on the golf course. I would have to say probably like one of the smaller schools, like Shorter University. There wasn't much tailgating going on at Shorter,
I've never even heard
unfortunately.
of that school until just now, so
Yeah,
I can imagine.
they're in Rome, Georgia,
Okay.
and they play their games on a municipal field. So it's not even their own stadium. They rent it out. I will say this though. In the fourth quarter, hot dogs are like I think they're like $2 or a dollar. Everything goes on discount. Like it's $2 dogs all the fourth quarter
That's a
and
win.
$3 burgers. So inside the stadium is where the magic happens at Shorter.
Perfect. All right. Speaking of food, what is your favorite tailgating food to have at a tailgate? One food.
I would say I really am really right now I'm really high on like bacon wrapped jalapeno popper vibes with like brisket inside, they call them Texas Twinkies, if you will. Or so that's probably up there right now. That's probably tier one.
And then what are you chasing it with? What kind of drink? What's your drink of choice going to be in your hand while you have your Texas Twinkie?
Right now, I'd say my go-to like hot tailgate drink is Sun Cruiser, which is
What's that?
like a Sun Cruiser. It's like a Arnold Palmer tea lemonade kind of drink. It's very popular right now. And then I have a I don't know if you've had it before, but it's a mixed drink, but it's called spa water, and it's like
All?
yeah, spa water.
Okay.
So it's like lemon flavored vodka, cucumber mint vodka, a little bit of Sprite, a little bit of seltzer water, and like some fresh fruit. I mean,
That
it's not
sounds
very tailgate
refreshing.
drink. Yeah, it's super refreshing. All right, and if I was gonna just go for a beer or something, just give me whatever's coming out of the keg. Honestly, just give me
As long as
whatever's
it's
going out of the
cold.
keg. Sling it to me. I will say this one tradition I do enjoy from tailgates is cooking food from like your rivals like culture. If we're hosting LSU and we're cooking, gumbo and jambalaya, or if we're, hosting, I don't know, Kentucky, and we have like a, kind of a bourbon trail kind of thing going on. I really enjoy when people try to do that.
No, again, I'm getting hungry and thirsty right now just talking to you about all this stuff. Let's see. Favorite tailgating game? Do you have one?
Ooh, I did like the Plinko at the Charlotte game I went to, and introduced me to that. Like, but I will say at Florida, one of the songs we do is Thunderstruck, and you have to uh you have to drink until the next time it says you're thunderstruck, and you got to like chug it. So that's a pretty good one. I mean, beer pong's always a classic, but it's just tough with if you're on dirt. But I think the Plinko is up there right now. And what's your? I mean, you're the tailgate challenge guy. There should be you should be teaching me a new game every
I
year.
know. I feel like, and one thing, we have not tailgated together yet. I put yet on there because I feel like we can definitely make that happen at some point in the near future. I mean, I got so many games I'm even looking. I mean, I'm going to do a games day and just have people cut, and we're going to just test games for like hours, like this weekend with all the new games. There's so many. There's so
That's awesome.
So again, I have a lot of good ones out there that I'm going to introduce you to some of those as well too, to expand your tailgating
I'm
game
all
horizon soon.
listen. I'm all about mixing it up. I mean, cornhole's the classic, but anything that dabbles in a little drinking or whatever. And it can't be too competitive, and it can't be too long.
For
It's
sure.
got to be a tight game. 5 minutes max. I mean, cornhole can be a little longer, but you got to keep the tailgate moving. You got to get the
Let
music
other people
vibing. Like,
play too, right?
yeah, yeah, you got to get the rotation through. Maybe have a little power rankings kind of thing. But yeah, I'm, when I go out to the restaurants and bars, I like having activities. So I'm a big billiards pool guy, like more pool than billiards. But if you come to Gainesville or you want me to go to a bar, like unless there's a game on, I'm just let me find a pool table real quick.
Sure. Yeah, no, I would say I mean, Battle Toss is a Plinko style game. Games can last under a minute, super competitive and engaging. So I feel like that might be the game right there for you, Battle Toss, as I
Battle
listen to what
toss.
you're looking
I'm gonna
for.
have to look that one up. I'm definitely down for some battle toss.
Good stuff. All right, tell me. So for somebody that's like, like Ben's inspired me today. Like I want to get out there. I want to go do some of these tailgates and maybe not 77, but just hit the road and just do a bunch of tailgates. What's one piece of advice you would give them as they embark on that quest?
Be open. What I mean by that is like go in with an open mind, open heart, and just like if someone offers you something, like say yes. Like just, hey, do you want to try this? Yeah, sure. Like, hey, would you like? I mean, obviously, if it's something that's too heavy or it seems dangerous, don't do that. But like, go in and always bring ice. Be the ice guy. That's what I'm gonna say. If you're gonna go to a tailgate, it doesn't matter if they say they have everything. Bring 2 bags of ice, and you are the dude. Like, maybe some cups too. Like, you can never have enough ice. My roommate bought me an ice maker for Christmas because there can never be enough ice in a house or tailgate. So I would say that is the main thing. If you want to be like the coolest guy, no pun intended, just walk up with some bags of ice, and you everyone will love you.
I was not expecting just like bring the ice. You'll be the tailgating king. So there's your tip of the day for everybody. Bring the ice, or at least give
Just
some to Ben.
every party, if it's a house party, like any party you're invited to, be the Iceman. No one hates the Iceman, and everyone's like, "Man, that's super considerate." My drink is now cold. Cheers to the Iceman. I'm gonna ride or die with the ice.
So like,
I mean, ice is only like 2.99 a bag, or like whatever. And if you get two 10-pound bags, you're spending $7, and everyone loves you. I'm telling you, it's the best investment to be. It's an icebreaker too, especially if no one knows you. You just walk in with the ice, and you Ben brought the ice. Let's go, drink something, and then you, man. So yes, I will always be the guy who hypes up the ice guy.
I mean, Ben, you've been more passionate about ice, and you gave multiple ice puns in the last 30 seconds. I love it. And I'm thinking too of like, there's a play. I feel like Chuck Liddell, the Iceman. He needs to get to a tailgate, right, and hang out with you and be like,
Seriously,
"Here's the Iceman."
yeah, Iceman, Chuck Liddell, George Gervin, whatever your player like flavor is. I mean, yeah, Refrigerator Perry. But like, yeah, I mean, I think just having fun and going. Obviously, there's only going to be one team that wins, and don't be a dick about it at the end. Like you can, and people are going to be mean. Just like you're able to keep it moving, and maybe a sharp like fun jab back, but like and I would say if you're trying to experience something new, you know, I just go on ESPN.com or whatever your preferred, site is. Click the schedule and just see what games are close by. And for me, close by is what time is it now? Can I
Anywhere,
get there before kickoff? Yeah, like can I drive there before kickoff?
right?
Get there early, take a lap or two. I'm a big fan of a lap. See, walk around the whole stadium. You may miss something. Everywhere I go, that's the other thing is like if I go to a new restaurant, new bar, I need to see the entire bar. I need to see every nook and cranny and just be adventurous. Like I think one of the things that we lose as we get older is like that spirit of adventure. And so like with that's what this is all about. It's all about just going out there, having fun and meeting people and sharing a drink or whatever.
Tailgating adventures. I feel like we could do a whole series on that on social media, right?
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, and the connections you make by going to a tailgate and there's no better place if you're, afraid to, slide walk up to a tailgate like I do sometimes, just go to Tailgate Connect, check out the tailgates there. And maybe that's the thing too. I mean, you could go and find a fun tailgate or a team you haven't seen about and then go get tickets to the game, right? Like you don't even have to if there's like, oh, I heard tailgating is fun at Ole Miss, or oh, I heard tailgate is fun at LSU or Texas or wherever. Like maybe there's a Tailgate Connect, and you could just go, and you never know that tailgate may have extra tickets, right? Like
Good.
like I'm always a big like hold out to the last minute for tickets guy because one, people at tailgates sometimes have too much fun and end up not going to the game, and two, like I will say Ticketmaster and a lot of schools have adopted surge pricing. So that's kind of taken if you buy first day one, that demand may be higher than day seven or game day. So just be patient when it comes to buying tickets. And I think that's another key tip.
Good stuff. All right, Ben, wrap it up for us here. Tell it what's next in the Ben Chase journey. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Gators win a national championship, but right now, I think what's next is just doing the best I can for my athletes here at Florida. I'd love to be back on the road sometime and mix and mingle. There's plenty of stadiums I haven't been to. I think my top five stadiums that I need to see or would like to see are Oregon, Washington, Nebraska. I've heard Minnesota's fun, and hmm, I haven't been to the Coliseum, but I mean, I guess I should go at some point to USC. But yeah, I think that's probably where I'm at with that. I've been to most other. I want to go to back to Texas A&M at some point. I went during COVID, so it wasn't as many people. So I would say like, oh yeah, that's probably where I'm at. I want to try to get. I mean, we play at Texas A&M this year. I don't know if I'll be able to make it just because of potential other things going on. But yeah, I think that's what's next. Just slowly chopping off. Maybe not 77 games a year. Maybe not 7 games a year. But chopping off that list of stadiums and cathedrals that I haven't seen yet.
And I will give a positive endorsement. Oregon, that is a bucket list. When I went last year, and it lives up to the hype by from the game day experience to the tailgate. You were in the woods at some point, like walking to the tailgate, like, are you sure this is where we going? But anyways, I loved Oregon Stadium personally. So,
Yeah.
all right, Ben, if people wanted to follow more of your journey, like, you got some social handles you want to call out?
Sure. I mean, all of my socials and everything are the same as Ben G Chase at Gmail, but Ben G Chase on Instagram, Twitter, wherever your social needs are met. The G is not for Gator, but I'll take it if you want to think of it that way. Ben G. Chase.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Ben, thank you so much for being here and sharing some of your journey. I know I appreciate it and learned a lot about it too. I thought I knew about it, but I think we went a couple levels deeper or peeled the onion back a little bit further. So appreciate that. Everyone that tuned in and stayed for the whole show, thank you. And again, if you're looking to go some tailgates and try to channel your inner Ben Chase, check out tailgateconnect.com because we can hit the easy button tailgating on there to help make your tailgates even more fun and easier than before. And we hope to see you at a tailgate soon. See ya.
Thanks, Luke. Go
All right.
Gators.
Tailgate Connect.